Welcome, ILLI members and fellow landscape lighting community. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Wes Jackson, and I am an ILLI mentor and serve on the ILLI Board of Directors. I will be today's moderator for the webinar. Today, we are featuring one of our Redwood sponsors, WAC Landscape Lighting, presented by Todd Goers. Todd is the National Sales Manager for WAC Landscape Lighting. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. I will be asking 5 prepared questions during the first part of this presentation to keep content and pace consistent. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the Q&A box in your Zoom control panel. I'll address them to Todd at the end of his presentation. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to Todd.
Thank you very much, Wes. I appreciate that. I'd like to start by thanking the International Landscape Lighting Institute for taking the proactive approach and setting up these webinars. And this time today, I appreciate the time, and I hope it's informative, and hope we have a nice session here. For those of you who are not familiar with WAC Lighting, I'd like to start by giving a little background about our company. For those of you who may not know, WAC Lighting has been in business for over 35 years. It's family owned and operated, and we are a true manufacturer of our products. We have an 800,000 square foot manufacturing facility where we do everything. We have a complete metal shop. We're pouring our own castings. We do our own fabrication, our own finishing, wiring, testing. We're packaging the product, and we're shipping the product. Once we have that product in the United States, it is made overseas. We warehouse everything in triplicate. So we have warehousing, shipping in 3 parts of the United States: New York, the Atlanta, Georgia area, and the Los Angeles, California market. So we're able to get things out into the marketplace in a timely fashion once we have the product in stock.
Awesome. Well, question number 1, which product or product series would you say are the flagship products of your company, and why?
So we would have 4 product categories that I'd like to go through with you at this point, and I would deem them to be our flagship products. The first would be our Accent family of landscape lighting fixtures. It's our most popular fixture that we sell, and I have one here in my hand. I'm going to try to show you best I can via the webinar here today, but this would be our standard Accent light. The model number is a 5011. We make this in a bronze finish, we make it in a black finish, and we make it in a brass finish, both low voltage and line voltage. The unique things about this, and the true advantage we have, is with the technology that I have right on board with this fixture. So I can easily take this collar that's on the outside of the fixture. I don't need to open the fixture. I can just turn this collar, and I'm going to try to show you what's going to happen. But as I turn this collar, you can probably see the lens is going to recess into the fixture, and then I can draw it back out. And by doing this, I'm creating a beam angle from 10 degrees to 60. It's continuous, so I get everything in the middle. I get 10 degrees, 11, 12, 13, 14, all the way to 60. At the same time, at the base of this fixture, there is a button at the bottom, okay? I can take a screwdriver, a dime, a butter knife, whatever I may have that's going to fit into this slot right here, and I can turn it to set the brightness level to where I need it to be. This particular fixture will go from 2 watts on up to 16 watts. In lumens, that equates to 190 lumens on upward to 1045 lumens. It has a removable shroud, obviously for adjustment, glare control, but once removed, I can easily put an accessory lens in our fixtures. We make a series of lenses, different colors. We make beam elongating lenses, spread lenses, but how they work is this lens is just going to sit on top of the fixture, and then I'm going to take my shroud or cowl and place it back over and tighten the thumb screw. It's that easy to put an accessory lens in this product. Along with accessory lenses, we do make a long shroud for downlighting purposes that would be sold separately. So that is an option as well. And this would be, as I mentioned earlier, the #1 item that we would sell. And it has been very popular, and I think you can see why. Very versatile product. Upon releasing this fixture right here, we got requests to make the fixture in a smaller version. So we came out with what we call the mini accent light. This fixture is roughly half the physical size of the one I just showed you. This would be labeled our 5111. Again, same finish options: bronze, black, brass, and different position on the brightness control, okay? But same position in relation to the other one as far as how you adjust the beam angle. I'm just gonna turn this outside collar, and you may be able to see it if I move this closer, where that lens inside this fixture is gonna move. And with this particular fixture, I'm gonna be able to create the beam angle anywhere between 10 degrees and 50 degrees. So 10 to 50 on the beam angle on this particular fixture. And then on the very back side of the fixture, hopefully, I'm going to try to hold this close so you can see it. If I hold it up right there, we have the fixture is going to go from 1 watt on up to 7. And in lumen output, that's going to equate to 45 lumens on up to 365 lumens. You have the same options with accessory lenses, long shrouds available with the mini. You're just going to loosen the thumb screw at the base of the cowl, take it apart. They lay over the face of the fixture, and you put it back together, and it holds it in. There's a little shelf built into the cowl itself. Okay? And our most recent addition to the accent family is our grand accent light. Now, again, if you think about the original one I showed you, or our standard accent light, this would be twice the physical size. It is a very big fixture. You have the exact same point of reference here for the beam angle where I'm turning this dial. And again, you may be able to see it in there, but it doesn't matter. You get the idea there. But as I turn that, this one, you're going to be able to create beam angles from 15 degrees on up to 60. Standard, same idea with the accessory lenses and the shrouds that are available for it. And again, the adjustment for the lumen output or wattage output is at the base of the fixture with this dial. This one has a range of 740 lumens on up to 2,000 lumens. Okay, again, low voltage, line voltage, and you have the same options with the finish. You have the brass, the black, and the bronze in the aluminum models. So this one has been catching on, very popular. To my knowledge, I believe it's the brightest low voltage fixture in the industry. Moving from the accent family, I want to share with you another one of our flagship products, which would be our wall wash fixture. This wall wash fixture is very compact in size, and you may notice at the bottom here, again, we have the same positioning, external. It's a continuous brightness adjustment. So this fixture here will go from 190 lumens on up to 980 lumens. The range in wattage is 190 lumens to 980 in lumens. In wattage is 2 watts on up to 16 watts. And we do have accessory lenses for this that will cover the face of this and held in by a housing that we ship with the accessory lens. This fixture has done very, very well for us. And recently, however, we had a new addition to this family, and it's a mini version, very similar to what we talked about with the accent lights. But we have a fixture that's shrunk in physical size to about half of what the standard wall wash physically would be. So with this fixture here, very compact, and I'm going to put this close here. We have a very unique feature on this where you can not only are you controlling the lumen output, but you're controlling the Kelvin temperature output. You have a choice, and if I hold this closer, you may be able to see this. You have a choice between 2700K and 3000K, and then you have wattage adjustment, 1 watt all the way to 8 watts. When we talk about that in lumens, we're talking about 80 lumens all the way to 420 lumens as far as output. This is done very well, very compact in size, and it's just taken off and done wonderfully. It's one of the top 5 fixtures that we sell today. Again, to follow suit with the other fixtures, you know, black and bronze are standard finishes in aluminum, and we do make it in a brass finish as well. Moving from the wall wash family, another one of our staples or mainstream products would be our hardscape fixture. This hardscape fixture, again, has dual Kelvin temperature control, and it has adjustable lumen output control or wattage control. This goes from 1/2 watt on up to 4.5 watts. Lumen range there would be 15 lumens all the way to 110 lumens. And then you select between 2700K or 3000K at the fixture. As I flip this over, you'll quickly see that we have a nice frosted shield at the bottom to eliminate any hot spots that you would not want to have in your landscape scene. And just this year, we've added another feature which has gotten a lot of attention, where there's 2 screws that you would remove, which I already have removed, and then this fixture can be removed from the bracket in a very quick, easy way. We call it quick release. But I can now, once removed, and you know how these get mortared in, this fixture itself will be able to be pulled off the bracket in a very easy way. If you ever would need to change it for whatever reason, you can get to it and access it without having to worry about the bracket and the wiring that is usually very hard to get at in a, say, stacked stone or hardscape scenario. Plugs right back in. Along with this fixture and this bracket that I'm showing you, which we call our masonry bracket, we make the fixture and ship with the fixture in a rotatable bracket. So this bracket is going to allow you to install this fixture without the hardscape masonry bracket, but now with this bracket, it's going to allow you to pivot the fixture and be able to direct the light outward or inward with the rotatable bracket. So you get both in the box and select the one that you need for your particular project. This feature with the quick release is available on all models. We make these hardscape fixtures in a 3-inch, 6-inch, 12-inch, and 18-inch. The controls that I showed you on the face of the product for Kelvin temperature and brightness control are only on the 6-inch, 12-inch, and 18-inch. We were not able to fit the technology needed into the small 3-inch hardscape fixture. So those are ordered separately in either 2700K or 3000K, and not included, both with one fixture as we do with the other hardscapes. The final product, and one of my favorites in our product line, is the well light that we have. There are 3 screws that I've already removed that you're able to now take the top off the well light fixture. Once removed, there's a module inside of the well light. This is connected via a plug. I've already unplugged it, but you'll see at the very base of the fixture, again, you have the dial that you're familiar with from the other fixtures that you're going to be able to turn and adjust the lumen output. The lumens on this go down to 70 lumens and on upward to 505. The wattage range is 2 watts to 12 watts of LED power. This fixture is pretty cool in the fact that not only do you have the ability to adjust the brightness, but you have the ability to set the beam angle once you're inside with this module. There's a little track on each side of this fixture module as I show it to you, and all you're doing is popping out some little dog ears into a center column, and then when you do that, you can raise and lower the lens. So I'm able to create a 15-degree beam angle, 30-degree beam angle, 45 or 60 with this one single fixture. Also, this is on a little rocker, so I can direct the light forward or backward or sideways just by tilting this centerpiece that's inside of the module itself. This then just plugs back in, and again, we have accessory lenses that lay over a shelf here. We have rock guard option for this well light. We have a non-slip lens option for this as well. So Those options are all noted in our landscape catalog, which is online, or you can get a hard copy of it from any landscape lighting distributor that we have throughout the United States. And that would sum up the what I would refer to as our mainstay product or tried and true products. I think Wes referred to them as flagship, but those four categories are really our adjustable fixtures that get a lot of attention, and we've done extremely well with them throughout the time that we've been selling our landscape products here.
Tried and true mainstream products will always have their place for most common applications, but what are some of the new innovative products that WAC is offering?
So we have a great team of engineers at WAC, and they're always striving to come out with new innovative things. And I got a couple that I'm going to show you today. One is a addition to our wall wash fixture family. This wall wash is what we call it our adjustable beam wall wash. To my knowledge, the first ever in our industry where you're going to be able to adjust the beam on the wall wash. But I can show you the front here. But as I turn this around to the back side, there's a dial on the back, and you don't need any tool. You're just going to be able to turn this dial with your hand, and you're going to be able to see this when I hold this close. But there's a module in here that as I turn this, the module is going to move up, and I can move it back. And this is going to create different beam angles. We have some standard NEMA beam pattern distributions that it'll create. It'll create 35 by 60, 60 by 90, 90 by 120. But not only do you get those, you get everything in the middle. This is a continuous beam angle adjustment system that we have built into this wall wash. And it's pretty slick, as you can see. Along with that, we have the very familiar button at the base here that you're going to be able to insert your screwdriver, and you're going to be able to turn the brightness up or down. This has a huge range. The lumen range, lumen output range on this fixture is anywhere from 200 on upward to 1500. So you have 200 to 1500 lumen output. And the final thing that it has, again, to my knowledge, unique to this fixture in our industry, I'll hold at an angle so you can maybe see this, but I can take the head of this fixture. Obviously, it's oriented in a horizontal form factor today here, but I can easily take this and turn this and make this a vertical wall wash. I then just simply remove this shroud cowl, and it's going to ship with both the horizontal and the vertical shroud, and I would place a vertical shroud on here, and that way, if I want to wash a very tall, narrow, possibly a chimney, some statuary, something more vertical in nature than horizontal, I can easily get to it just by turning the head of this wall wash fixture. Another item that is new to us this year that I'll share with you is our surface-mounted step lights. We have a collection of just two, but again, I think you'll see they're pretty versatile. This one here is a 5-inch. We also make it in a longer version in a 9-inch. So you have your choice here. The nice thing about these surface-mounted step lights is that they're very thin in their profile, and they do not need a junction box. So when you're installing these, all you're going to be doing is loosening a little Allen key at the bottom of the faceplate. This faceplate is then going to be able to be removed, set aside, and you're going to drill a hole, fish the wire through the hole, and mount this back plate that has the LED mechanism in it. You're going to level this and mount this, and once that's done, you're going to come back and bring your faceplate and just put it back over, and you're going to be able to mount this and put in step lights in, I would guess, 1/10 of the time that it took you to put in step lights where you need the junction back box behind the fixture itself.
Question 3. Lighting designers and contractors alike are always looking for differentiators. Are there any application-specific products, features, technology from WAC that would be considered a differentiator in our industry?
I would have to say the products that I just showed you, the technology advantages that we would have would be adjustment and control. Our goal with the product line from the onset was to make things easier to install and give you the most flexibility. So one fixture can do many, many different things, and without having to stock many, many different things. So we're very pleased with what we have and how quickly that you can install the product, but in my estimation, the flexibility a designer has, an installer has, and ultimately the flexibility that a homeowner has who's going to live with the system is just tremendous. And there's not another landscape lighting company that I know of in our industry that can say that they have the product flexibility and adjustability that we have.
Question 4. For WAC, what is the highest priorities when developing landscape lighting product with regards to quality, cost, and availability?
So WAC Lighting employs 96 engineers. The engineering team is very strong, very smart, and very talented. And I think, as you can see from some of the products I showed you here, they do a great job. The quality aspect of what we do is number one by far. We've put a lot of time and effort into making sure things are right the first time around, and definitely would take the number one spot. As I mentioned early in the presentation webinar, we have distribution points throughout the United States, California, Georgia, along with New York. It's very important to us that we get product out expeditiously into the marketplace. And that is why we have 3 unique and separate shipping points to get that product to you in the best possible way, fastest way. And I would definitely have to say that just following up the quality aspect of what we do, availability would rank number 2 for us.
Okay. For question 5, where does WAC provide value to the landscape lighting industry and secondarily, the landscape lighting design community?
Again, I'll go back to our product flexibility. We have very flexible products that can be used oftentimes in many different applications. I got a couple other products I want to share with you today that, again, I'm going to show you some of that flexibility that I think you've already seen, but I'm going to just show you a few more items. We make these, we call these indicator fixtures. These are turned out of solid, piece of stainless steel. And these are IP68. They could be fully submerged if need be, but this is a top that is interchangeable. So this is a brass top finished in a bronze stainless steel, but we have a collection of other tops that I'll show you. We have, here's a bidirectional top that light's going to disperse from each side. We have that same top in a quad version. We have it you're seeing it right here in a 180-degree version right here. We also make tops where you can throw light straight up, but it works very simply. You're just spinning this top off, this body. It comes off that easy. And then you're going to take whatever selected top that you would want, and you're just going to thread that on. So once you do that, you have just ultimate flexibility. Same thing for the 1-inch. You have the different top options that you're going to be able to easily remove and replace if you'd like. So this is something that we're very proud of. We sell a lot of these fixtures. They can be installed in water, out of water. It doesn't matter. Along with that, we have tape lighting, again, that has ultimate flexibility. We sell this tape lighting in 3 different lengths. This is a 1-foot piece. We also make it in a 5-foot piece and a 10-foot piece. It goes together very simply. There's a nut on the, or we call it a lead wire, but this just plugs in to start the system. So if I unplug this, the other end of this is just 2 pieces of copper. So you're just going to, you can add a wire onto this, but this is a 12-volt tape lighting, but you're going to just take this copper, attach more lead wire if need be, and you're going to start your run of tape light. You can run up to 40 feet of our tape light on a lead wire. So again, just easily plugs together. This tape lighting and this nut, when put together, this product is IP68. So this can be used underwater up to 5 feet of depth, sold in 2700 Kelvin or 3000 Kelvin. We have different mounting options, a clear channel and some clips. But we've done really well with this product, and just wonderful to be able to have something that's just plug and play with tape lighting. And wanted to share that with you. But those items right there, again, just stressing our flexibility that we have with our product line. We're trying to bring things that add value in that way.
That is excellent. Thank you for answering my prepared questions. And I'll now ask some questions from our attendees. Just a reminder, attendees also, be sure to type in your questions in the Q&A box if you have any in the control panel. First question is from Bill Smith. How consistent are the light level markings from fixture to fixture? His example is if he goes to a certain setting on one fixture and has the exact same fixture being used, are all of those outputs going to be consistent?
They will be consistent. The markings on there are just for that reason. If you want to put 8 watts on each fixture, we have that set up where you're going to get the same, to your eye, it's going to be the same. Is it a % off? It could be, but we've never had a complaint with somebody setting the fixtures up with putting them all on 4 watts or all on 8 watts or what have you. We've never had a complaint that there's any difference in light output.
Okay. The next question is about the adjustable feature on both the mini accent and the mini wall wash. Can it be used in an inverted position? And does that have any effect on that dial as far as water intrusion?
Yeah, it can be used as and I think I shared with you earlier the longer shrouds, but it is meant to be used as an uplight or a downlight, and it does not have any bearing. That dial does not have any bearing. The warranty is the same, and it'll work equally as well in either application.
Great. The next question is from Catherine. Are there going to be more accessories and glare shield options for glare control for the well light fixtures, the 3-inch well lights?
Right now, we recently added, I'm not exactly certain, I don't recall how long it has been, but we do have a hex louvered lens option that we've added in the past, I think, couple years. And if we need to add further ones, we certainly can. We do have, I think I mentioned colored lenses, frosted lenses, but we do have one hex louver option for that 3-inch well light today.
And then a follow-up on that question, I think her premise of that question was, is there going to be a glare shield cap? I know you have a rock guard, but is there going to be a glare shield?
Yes, that is something that we are working on, and I would foresee us having that probably close to the top of the year. It should be added to the catalog. It is something that I do understand that we need, and we have talked about it, and I believe are working on that.
Awesome. The next question is about adjustability or tunability on the surface mount step lights. Is that going to be in the future, or is that going to be a constant light level or static output?
Yeah, so to date, we have not had any requests for that. So we do not have that feature on the step lights, but they can be dimmed. The small 5-inch model that I showed you puts out about 55 lumens, and the 9-inch model puts out 100 lumens. Each of those can be dimmed down to 10% of that light output. So, and that is using an external dimmer, because obviously the dimmer, we do not have it built into that particular product.
That potentially leads to this next question. Is it at all possible to have remote intensity? So the intensity adjustment, is it possible to have that remote? Because the common theme in our industry is when they're doing downlights and they're mounted at such a height, they'd like to make those wattage adjustments down below.
So we currently have that in our color changing products. I didn't touch on them because it's hard to touch on all the things in our product catalog during this short webinar, but we do make 3 fixtures that work with an app via Bluetooth, and we make the accent light, the wall wash, and the well light. So I have had, and I've seen customers who want that ability to control the amount of light coming out of a downlight. And if you install our color changing accent light up in a tree as a downlight, you can control the lumen output, via an app with that particular fixture.
Okay, thank you. Does the LED flex tape light for internal, external flats 90s? Can you explain the transitions for the flex tape light, how it connects together, and how you would make a transition?
Yeah, so the tape lighting again, has these ports on the on each end. There's a male and a female, just plug and play. But then we have we have jumper wires that if you wanted to make a sharp 90-degree turn, this tape won't take a sharp 90-degree turn. But if you came to the end, we make a little connector piece that would allow you to connect to, you know, from one jumper port to another to make that turn. And those are noted in our catalog.
Yeah. And cutability on that?
Yeah, so you can cut this. There's markings along the tape on where you can cut it, but basically it's, again, between any of the LED diodes, you can cut it. And then you're going to silicone it, and we have an end cap that you would buy, and then you're going to, you know, put that on, and then whatever you cut, you do lose. So if you got a 10-foot piece of tape that you cut, in, you know, to make an 8-foot run that you need, the last 2 feet is no value anymore. It gets thrown away.
Okay, thank you. Next question is, how do you handle the warranty, and what is the process for warranty?
So our warranty, I call it over-the-counter warranty. So if something were to go bad in the field, it gets brought into one of our authorized distributors. We ask that the authorized distributor test that product. If they, you know, are in agreement and they determine that the product, you know, does not work for whatever reason, a new fixture is given to you know, the installer over the counter the same day. So there's no waiting on it or, you know, waiting for this to be sent back anywhere. It's immediate and across the counter.
Does the indicator light or the 2-inch and the 1-inch have, what are the main applications for those fixtures?
So oftentimes they're used as miniature well lights. You know, the cover that I showed you here, which we make in round or we make in square, which I have in my hand here, they're often used as uplights. So you could light short columns, maybe a column that's 8, 10, 12 feet tall. That might be the max that you would go. But I see them used as miniature well lights in that type of application. And it's a great application because, you know, it is IP68 and it is going to, you know, survive a harsh environment if it goes underwater. I do see them used often in areas that have a lot of lakes or along the water in Florida, as you know, they are called indicator lights. And when you put them out on a boat dock, another great application, because if they do happen to go underwater with the lake, or you know, a big wave comes in, I mean, they're going to be able to survive that tough environment being IP68.
And a follow up with that series. Can there be a hex louver inside of those?
We do make the 2-inch model that has a hex louver built in under the glass of the 2-inch. So you can get it either way, with or without. The 1-inch does not have that yet, and that is something that we have talked about and may ultimately do.
Okay, and could you elaborate more on the Bluetooth color changing fixtures as far as how what features they have and how you would operate those?
Yeah, so the fixtures, the Bluetooth technology that we have today in the color changing products, it's iOS only. So you're going to need an iPod with Bluetooth, an iPod, iPad, iPhone, and you're going to download from the Apple Store an app called Illuminite 2.0. It's free to download. Once that is on your device, you simply purchase the fixture. And when the fixture is driven by current and you open the app, it's going to pick it up within about an 80-foot range. And you're going to be able to get, I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of different colors. Anything you can create with red, green, and blue, you're going to be able to create with this app. We have a color wheel that's built into it. I believe there's actually some videos on the color changing product on YouTube if you want to go out and Google that. But the Bluetooth product also does white in a very nice way. It has a huge range of down to 1650 Kelvin, I believe it is, and then it goes as high as 4000 Kelvin. So, and that's in 1 degree increments. So if you need 2700 to match what you have out on a project today, you can get that exact same color, and then on the weekend you can turn it to a pretty violet color to match your favorite sporting team or what have you.
Also, in a follow-up question with that, is there any plans for a grand accent with the color changing?
Not that I know of, but I kind of like that idea. I like the idea of the extra punch you'd get with the Grand Accent and the color changing. So it's probably something that we should look into. And so I'm glad it was brought up.
And then the question is there plans to have the Bluetooth app or a Bluetooth controllable fixture that's non-color changing? So you would just have intensity adjustment or potentially color shifting adjustment. And I want to add to that, if not, what is the sacrifice you make to have the color changing version as far as lumen output? So like 3000 Kelvin with that color changing fixture versus the same fixture as a static 3000 Kelvin.
Yeah, that's great question. We've talked about the idea of having just a standard fixture, non-color changing with the controls built into it. We haven't, unfortunately, maybe had enough requests, because that's sort of how some of these things get built out, is depending on how many requests we have. So it's something that we could do, just haven't done yet. But you do sacrifice lumen output. The second part of your question, you do sacrifice lumen output. Our standard accent light that I showed you first in the presentation, which is our number one selling fixture, goes up to 1045 lumens. When you go to the color changing product and you go to the white color, you're dropping down to about 350 lumens as your max output. So you can see it's about it drops down quite a bit once you go to that color changing product.
Okay, great. I think that answers all the questions we've had so far. And Illy would like to thank WAC for their support, and Todd for your time today. Thank you, everyone, and we appreciate you being here. Do you have any final remarks, Todd?
I would just like to again say thanks to Illy for spearheading the effort to getting this rolling. We're very happy to be affiliated with Illy, and I'm so proud that we were able to step up our efforts with Illy this year, and becoming a Redwood sponsor within the Illy organization, and look forward to seeing all of you at some point at a real live meeting down the road.
Great. Awesome. Hopefully Todd's going to join us for the IC, the next IC.
That's my plan.
Good deal. Be sure to visit the Illy website, illyedu.org, where you will find these sponsor webinar recordings, as well as further information about membership, sponsors, intensive course, and upcoming events, and also contact information for WAC. Thanks again for joining us today, and we'll see all of you next time. Thanks, Todd.
You're welcome.